Hey there, guys. Hi, Jerry. Of course, it's the show before the show. You guys see us in our last preparations here. Lizzie's in the studio. I'm here. Tabitha's off the next 3 days. She's working movie industry stuff. So she'll be gone the next 3 days. Hey, Pro Joe.
Yeah, what's up?
Do we have Tabitha's computer up today?
Yes.
Is Chase way too big for that shot?
Probably, but
We'd have to sit him down. He's like 7 foot tall.
Maybe he wants a chair.
We can get him a chair.
We put him in a chair.
Chase, you want to come in here on a chair?
Well, Chase, can we put you on the show today? I can't remember if I asked you that or not.
I think we're still concepting.
Oh, that's right. We did. I did talk to you.
I think we'll figure that out.
Yeah, we're gonna figure that out. Yeah. We've got our intern extraordinaire.
Love it. And he brought donuts.
I don't think I should call him an intern though. Associate. Is it all right if I brought your name up on air?
You're good.
All right.
You didn't say his last name.
No, I just said Chase. We're very mysterious.
We are mysterious. It's the mysterious Chase that brings in Krispy Kreme donuts.
Should slap him for bringing Krispy Kreme donuts in.
Oh, I was like, who did that? That's so cool.
He might slap me back.
Yeah, he might. He looks vicious.
Good morning, Kimberly, Michelle, Jerry, Bendy, Trisha. Happy Monday. Let's see. Good morning, Lizzie.
Good morning,
Getting
Vic.
everything back in here.
How was your Father's Day, Vic?
You know what? It was good. I was with my boys. My daughter was working. She had to work all day yesterday. She's in Columbia for the summer, so she was working at Shiloh, Chase. She works at Shiloh. So she was working there, but talked to her. But I saw both. I was with my boys. But my youngest, the one's going to be a sophomore, besides football, he plays a ton of lacrosse. So we had a lacrosse tournament all weekend in the O'Fallon, Illinois area. Thank God it was local.
Yeah, that's not too far.
So I was out there. But it was good. How was Dave's?
It was really
David?
good. All of our kids came over and they made all the food. And that in itself is great. That was awesome.
Good morning, Anthony. That's cool to hear. Made all the food.
Yes, they made all the food. It was good food too. Really good food.
Let's see here. Getting everything in. Got a couple minutes here. Everybody else have a good Father's Day? Anybody get any good gifts? Anybody do anything? I'm just curious.
Do dads get as good a gifts as moms?
No, but that's fine.
Yeah, it seems like moms get better gifts.
No, not even close, but that's fine.
Do dads even care? I mean, like, does that bother you?
No.
Okay. Yeah,
No.
it does. Yeah. I think guys are so much
No.
less into presents.
Not at all. Hey, Joe. Did you see the videos I sent?
I did.
Do you have you have the ABC video?
Yes.
Do you have the one with Biden from Friday?
That's not the way. I think so.
I sent one. You may want to call that up. What else did I send you? I'm trying to remember everything.
Is it the one where should I spoiler alert? Spoiler alert.
That's fine.
Is it the one where he says God save the Queen?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Yeah.
So we have two, right?
I have that one, and then the ABC one.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Okay.
Boy, we got a crazy story today too. Do you know New York and LA transportation authorities are looking to charge drivers to drive on the freeway now so that they can try to eliminate traffic and go green
To go green and eliminate
and
traffic.
go green. Yeah, I mean it's
Wow. That is crazy. Let's just charge everybody everything and charge the little guy. Bindy's saying on here, did we hear that Bill Barr called Trump a narcissist?
yeah, he's never liked him. I mean,
He never
and
has.
not just. But you know what? I was out with some conservatives over the weekend. It was very interesting to me. 3 of them, 3 men, 3 white men, to give you demographics, around my age are not Trump fans, friends of mine. They're just not. They want DeSantis.
Interesting.
They don't like him.
Interesting.
And I don't know. And I asked them just one quick question because I didn't want to get into it all. I said, is that because of the media? Is it because of quote meanness? And just, I don't know. I just don't, just he just gets railed. I don't think he can win. They don't do the deep dives like we do.
Right.
They just look at quote media headlines still. I will give you that, but they just wanted somebody besides him. I was just, I don't know. I was surprised. Jay says 48 shot in Chicago. Yeah, gun laws work over the weekend. And then, of course, we had 9 people die in St. Louis, 10 shot at a shooting Saturday night. Teens.
Wow.
And that was
Crazy.
Saturday. Yeah, that was after the Luke Combs concert, which was massive.
Yeah.
For the most part, I didn't hear that there was a bunch of craziness outside of that shooting.
Yeah, I heard the concert was great. People were sending me videos of it. It looked great. No problems inside, apparently.
Well, what happened was, I mean, there was 1 teen that was dead. 9 others were injured, shot from Saturday night, which was unfortunate.
Very. And the arguments are either over drugs or female or who knows, maybe you just look at somebody wrong these days. People are just plain angry. Jerry says, hey, Vic, show them this 59-second short to your 3 friends. Don't know what it is, but
yeah, I'll have to
look at that after a while.
Hey, before we start the show, Pro Joe, can you pull that video from the comments?
I'm going to need somebody to send that to me. For some reason, the program that we're using, I can only show the comment. I can't actually click on any links.
I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
All right, we can go ahead and start the show, Joe. Pro Joe. Guys, welcome into cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust. Tabitha Hassel is working in the movie industry the next 3 days, so she'll be out unless something changes there. She's down in Springfield. Glad that she's doing that. She tries to listen. So Tabitha, good morning, and hope everything's good with you. Lizzie Sparks in studio, co-hosting and running the chat boards as always on multiple platforms. You can catch up, and we do appreciate when you guys do that as well. Like, subscribe, share the show. Also helps just to make a comment. It helps with how the systems are set up to make sure that we get to as many people as possible. She's on Facebook. She's on Rumble. She's on YouTube. And we'll take it. Does Cloud Hub, you can't comment, right? Is that right? Or
Correct. You can't comment. We're getting close. You have to have so many listeners per period of time, but we're very close to Cloud Hub and Twitter going live.
And we know that people are comfortable with where they are now, but if anybody knows anybody else that does Twitter, we've got some plans in the work there. Also, if you haven't checked out the videos, the shorts that we do of the show on Instagram, check it out. Massive, and I mean massive growth coming in on Instagram. Alex and then our I hate calling him an intern. We got to come up with a new name. And we got Alex and Chase. I don't know, the anonymous Chase. They've been working together, and they've really, really, really got some good things going on. And I bring that up because growth is one of those situations that can be described in many forms. At 9:00, Alex McArthy from Raising Sales, our marketing director, will come in. He's going to join us live on our feed to talk about where we are, who we are, the growth we've made, how you can help if you like it, and continuing to show forth. That's one of the things I loved about our podcasting when we do these live shows, because in radio, when I did radio, and I did radio for 23 and a half years, loved it. But you really can't show all the time who's watching, or excuse me, you don't watch it, who's listening. Here you can watch us and listen to us, where you can do that right now. And we do have some advertisers who love that, and they appreciate that because they know where their hard-earned money is going and if they're getting anything out of it. So that's why we always say, give us a shot, bet on us. And we appreciate that. Thank you, Kevin. So Alex will come in at 9:00 to explain some of the stats, some of the ratings, those things that are going on. We'll have him in for about 10, 15 minutes. And just check out Instagram too. When we say that, check out the shorts on Instagram, Facebook. When you like that, when you subscribe to those sites, when you share them, it really does a super job for us, and we appreciate that so much. Eric Johnson on his way in as well. Pro Joe here running the boards. Okay. Mondays, always busy days because there's a lot of news that happens over the weekend. If there's something that we miss, as always, let us know. We love the people that listen to this live portion of the podcast and watch. So if we miss something, let us know. We always love you to do that. Some of the things we'll get to today. I talked about Alex coming up at 9:00. Joe Biden with just a bizarre comment over the weekend, actually from Friday. New polling numbers. We'll get into that. Did you think the indictments would have any sort of an effect on Donald Trump? We didn't hear, and that's showing nationally right now. Not only with the polls that I tell you are straight down the middle, but also the polls that may lean a little left, and the polling companies that still have Donald Trump right there. And it's really frustrating. Some people on the left are like, what the is going on? Why do people like Donald Trump? We'll get into that. Anheuser-Busch still hemorrhaging. We'll tell you how much they've lost company revenue, what they're trying to do now to help their distributors. Those are the people we care about. The distributors, the local people who don't agree with what Anheuser-Busch has done and continues to do. And of course, their general manager, their CEO does not get it. This younger guy, whatever you want to, he does not get it. He's an absolute, I'm going to be nice. Anyway, he doesn't get it, and he still doesn't get it. And if somebody's telling him to do it, I would not want that job because he continues to mess up. But something else, I heard somebody over the weekend I'm going to drink Yingling. Guess what? We've had that come up on the show as well. Yingling, not so much better. I'm not kidding. It's the hold my beer comment. It's there again. So anyway, they'll jump into that. Jay says, hey, Disney Pixar's woke movie bombed over the weekend as well. I haven't seen the numbers on that. I appreciate it, but we already know what's going to happen. As AB still hasn't apologized, according to Kevin. Yeah, I know. Anyway, we'll get into that. Also, LA and New York, their transportation systems. Is this about control? Is it about something else? Do they really think that this is best for everybody? They want to charge drivers to drive on the freeways now. And they hope that it will lessen traffic and, of course, emissions. The whole climate change, green conspiracy that, oh, my God, it's going to help our environment and all this and all that. Okay. Anyway, Aaron says 3 straight animated films bombing by Disney. Yeah, it's pretty much what they are. And then, of course, Jay says, too late for AB. People found out that other beers taste way better. Yeah, maybe they are. Maybe they are. Sarah, yes, you're right. We're going to get to that comment coming up in just a little bit. But those are some of the situations we'll be talking about here. But first, let's give you a look at our partners, our sponsors, our advertisers that make this show possible. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
House has the largest selection of solid wood with the hottest new styles. Real furniture that's built to last, like our solid bedrooms, living rooms, and dining from Kincaid. Our volume enables us to save you a lot of money, especially during our solid wood sale. Plus, get free financing, fast free delivery, and free in-home design. So for solid wood, sweet styles, and solid service since 1964, shop over 3 football fields of furniture at Carroll House, because you like nice things.
Hey guys, this is Dr. Mahesh Bhagway. I'm an orthopedic surgeon here in St. Louis for over the last 20 years. I went to Washington University. I got my medical degree at St. Louis University. From local high school athletes, college athletes, weekend warriors, injured workers, and even Cardinal baseball players, I've treated them all. Our practice strives to personalize care with every new patient being seen by me. To find me, contact my staff at drbagwe.com. That's DRBAGWE.com. Hopefully you don't need me, but if you do, you can find me now.
Jonathan, what does make Rockwood so special?
Rockwood, we carbonize it higher than anybody else does. So we're cooking out everything that produces ash, smoke, anything like that. It gives you a lot more control over the temperature, a lot more control over the fire, and it's 100% Missouri product.
All right, where can people get it?
It's 100 plus locations around St. Louis, any Deerberg, Straub's, meat markets, wine and cheese stores, hardware stores, you name it, we're around St. Louis. Just check the website.
And good charcoal should be able to break apart in your hands like
absolutely,
Rockwood does,
yeah.
right?
If you can't break it apart by hand, it's not charcoal yet. It's still wood. They didn't do the job, so make sure it can break apart by hand.
All right, get your Rockwood charcoal.
Marco, wait. What? No response? Hi, I'm Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair, offering full service and auto repair to St. Louis and St. Charles. We are looking for someone to say polo. That's right, we are hiring. We want you now. If you would like to work in a well-paying environment, then you owe it to yourself to stop by one of our 6 Complete Auto Body and Repair locations. Will you help me find that missing person? Please call me directly at 636-488-HIRE. That's right, 636-488-4473.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Attention, anyone who served, lived, or worked at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987. Camp Lejeune's drinking water was dangerously toxic, and base personnel and their families have since suffered cancer and other illnesses. If you or a loved one spent time at Camp Lejeune and were diagnosed with cancer, you may be eligible for significant compensation. Call the Driscoll firm now. Consultations are free, and you won't pay a fee unless we get you the money you deserve. 1-800-805-4800.
Hey guys, welcome back into cancelthisshow.com. And when we show those partners and our advertisers, I or people in this building have worked with these companies and love them, use them, and promote them. And that's why we continue to have them on our air. Speaking of them, Wendy's, I don't know if I've talked about this yet on the show, but they've been selected to appear on America's Best Restaurants debut. It's become pretty big online. If you know anything about food, if you're a foodie, you know about this show. And of course, anybody in the area knows about Wendy's. Check out their food is absolutely amazing at Wendy's. So when these America's Best Restaurants bars show up, they're showing up for a reason. That's because people are talking about them. And that's why people go there. It's why the place is packed all the time. Drive by, you'll see cars in there all the time. It's a good time. Trixie Duo will be making a special Thursday appearance during their America's Best Restaurants debut. That begins at 2 p.m. on June 29th. They're going to be there filming that day at Wendy's in the St. Louis area. So it's really cool that you get a St. Louis area restaurant or bar that's going to be on the show, that's being featured, that's getting recognized. And they're a big part of what we do here, a big sponsor. So congratulations to Wendy's. Once again, June 29th, 2 p.m. We'll get them on. We'll talk about that. Trixie's Duo will be coming in for that show. Okay, this is cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks here today, Eric Johnson en route, Tabitha Hassel, working the movie job for the next 3 days. So she'll be away. Pro Joe's here in house. Plus, we have our intern, Chase. With that being said, you can always catch us at cancelthisshow.com. Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, as you know, and all the time at cancelthisshow.com. If you missed something, you can check out our original content. Of course, we're a 2-hour show, so you can always go back, check out what we have, see if anything catches your attention, and, of course, share it, like, subscribe. It helps us do what we're doing as well. Coming up at 9 o'clock, Alex from raising sales. We'll be in to talk about our numbers, to talk about our ratings, and everything that's going on right now. Okay, right out of the gate, Joe Biden, he gives us something on a weekly basis. Democrats don't want him. They don't want Trump,
No,
but they don't want Biden. There isn't anybody. Even Democrat Drew doesn't want Biden. It's part of it. The guy, every time he's given a mic or he's shown in public, something bad happens. Something bizarre happens. And he becomes that car crash that you rubberneck and you just can't you're like, what the hell is going on? We don't know which Biden this is, but we're convinced there's more than one. And none of them together can equal any sort of an intelligent human being. You add the brain power of all three, and you still have a preschooler.
Preschoolers are smarter than him.
Maybe.
I think so. Yeah.
Joe Biden. Listen to what he said at a gun control safer community summit. Listen to how he signed off his talk.
All right. God save the Queen, man.
What?
All right.
Just look, we watch this again.
God save the Queen, man.
And what idiots are actually clapping like, woo, that's so great. Let's save the Queen. There's people clapping for that.
Can I see it again, Joe? I mean, as bizarre as this comment is, once again, he's lost again. And then he tries to hurry off stage. He knows he can't move fast. If he moves fast, bad things happen.
All right. God save the Queen, man.
So embarrassing.
Okay.
He doesn't even know where he's going, where he's at. He doesn't even know that he's the president. He's talking about a queen. Oh my gosh. His brain is fried.
If you haven't seen this, what are your thoughts? I don't, it is. Jay says it's almost a daily thing.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Aaron says as he does this, he's like, where do I go? Where do I go? Once again, we show you this because that is the current president. And he is who is running if the Democrats continue to have him out there. But if you're a Democrat and if you hate Trump and you can't stand the thought of Donald Trump being in office, do you really think that guy right there has a chance to beat your guy? No.
Heck no.
No, there's no way.
No way.
It's not happening. And then when you see Joe Biden like this out and about all the time, and of course we know the controversy surrounding Donald Trump and indictments and maybe another set of indictments to come, all the stuff that has been thrown at him. It's fun to watch people who have nothing but hate in their hearts for Donald Trump lose it and try to figure out why. Why in the hell are Americans excited about Donald Trump? Oh my God. As stupid and idiotic as Joe Biden shows us on a daily basis, Democrat Drew says, well, at least he's not a narcissistic. Oh my, that's the Democrats' argument now.
Yes, correct.
It has nothing to do with who's best on policy, who's best in strength, who's best to lead this country forward, not only domestically, but internationally, and dealing with superpowers and BRICS and people who want to destroy the dollar. And now we're worried about somebody being narcissistic. Hell yes, he's narcissistic.
Good thing. You want your president to be
he's
a
an
badass.
effing leader, and he is coming to lead, whether you like him or not. He's not worried about feelings.
Correct.
He's worried about facts. Would I like him to be a kinder, gentler, more presidential president? Yes, but you know what? I'd also like the left media, the deranged media, to be fair and honest as well. How about this? Here's your deal. When the media actually starts covering him the same way they cover Joe Biden, then Donald Trump can be a kinder, nicer person. Let's equal the playing fields. Let's get real about it. I don't like how Donald Trump comes across a lot. Never have. But look at the way he was treated from the moment he came into office. So anyway, you have that. All right, check out this clip. from ABC's morning news show yesterday. This is all because their polling shows they show Biden still with a couple percentage points lead, but they can't believe. And keep in mind, this polling that they show you, this is hardcore left polling. This isn't Rasmussen, which I'll show you in just a minute, or this is Quinnipiac, which is, it's down the middle to the left, and you don't know who they've polled. But check out this clip.
Let me try to put some oxygen back in the room. Don, I want to try to do another poll. I'll try to do this a little cleaner this time. But a poll from Quinnipiac on a possible Biden-Trump matchup puts Biden at 48%, Trump at 44%. This is a poll, again, taken largely after the indictment. I mean, that's got to make you a little nervous. That's within the margin of error. That is a statistical tie.
The race was close before the indictment. The race is going to be close no matter what happens.
So what does that say about Biden if he's barely beating or in some polls actually losing?
It says that the country is very divided. It says that the country is really looking to get beyond 2020. It says a lot about where we are as a nation, not where we are in terms of who's personally popular at this time.
Okay, we can get out there. Oh my God. They're like, what does it say about Joe Biden? What do you think it says? Hello?
Right. Trump is still winning despite all of that because we don't care
to ABC. If you haven't realized yet, you should go check out the videos and the comments and the sound bites regarding Joe Biden. This is a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Joe Biden does not know where he is. I mean, come on.
Could you imagine hearing what's going on really in their earpieces? Could you imagine what they're really saying? Yeah. Okay, get the dumbass to the left. Move that dumbass to the right. Go get the Easter Bunny. I mean, think about what they're saying in there. I would love to hear that.
Okay, keep in mind, not one set, 2 sets of indictments, and they don't get it. And guess what? A third set is probably on the way because they're going to have to change. I'm just telling you, the deep state, the left, those who don't want Donald Trump running, if it's a uniparty, whatever, you get into conspiracy theories, whatever it is going to have to change whatever their plan is because the indictments are not working. And as we have told you before, these indictments, none of them would be heard until after the election.
Correct.
Maybe the New York Alvin Bragg stuff, possibly that's summer 2024. Maybe at the time, but we all know it's a joke. There's no legal standing there. You've had liberal lawyers on this podcast come on and say there's nothing to it. Okay, so you have that situation going on. Then on top of that, you have other polling that just came out over the weekend. This polling, this blows my mind. This coming from Harvard. And we all know that Harvard is one of the most liberal schools in the world, not just America, in the world. This is the same Harvard that gave Lori Lightfoot a teaching assignment, one of the biggest failures of a city mayor in United States history. Her first job after being voted out of office, Harvard. Harvard has no respect anymore, and I'm sorry, and Harvard graduates get pissed off. I know one that I talked to about this. They love their institution, but they're hardcore left. They're hardcore liberal. And how can you say a university is so great when they won't look at all the facts? When they won't present all the facts. Well, Harvard, and I say what I say to show you what Harvard is, they are as hard-leaning left liberal as you're going to find. I don't care if it's an institution of higher learning. It's also an institution of higher, I'm going to be nice.
Don't be nice. Just say that.
I think of my Harvard graduate friends. I've got 2 of them. Anyway, the polling that I refer to is Harvard's Capps Harris poll. They have Donald Trump leading by 6 percentage points over Joe Biden.
That says a lot, doesn't it? That says everything. And I bet they're just biting their fingers.
No, they are. Despite the polling, this is what's going on. They don't know what to do.
They don't.
It is, our Facebook user says Harvard is also getting sued for discrimination against Asians because of overqualified Asians not being able to get into the school of higher learning. Harvard. Oh, Harvard. You know what? Who cares if you go to Harvard? Would you really want to be associated with Harvard after what they have done, what they've been about, what they're putting out?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, the institution of Harvard, the higher learning Harvard, is also their combined poll. Once again, they're as left as you're going to get, and their polling with the Harris poll has Donald Trump leading by 6 percentage points right now over Joe Biden. The left cannot go into an election with Joe Biden. Number one, unless they have voting machines rigged. I'm not saying that there's going to be cheating, despite the polling that we showed you on Friday that shows that 56% of Americans, including 77% of Republicans, 44% of Democrats believe cheating will occur in the 2024 election. Unless Democrats have a plan to run that fool that we see mocking the presidency, mocking everything that this country is about, pretty much on a weekly basis, if not daily, when he is allowed out of the basement to talk, to make an appearance, not getting on stage for debate with any of his Democratic competitors. There you go. The same situation. As Greg says, Harvard, another affluent school. Aaron says universities are given over to the spirit of the age. Time for Americans to accept it and stop sending your kids to college. I'm not going to go that far, Aaron. There's still a place, in my opinion, for kids in college. However, if kids are going to college, and we've had a couple on the show talk about it, you better know what can happen at schools. And I've explained my story of my daughter at Mizzou, at the University of Missouri, and the peer pressure and the situations that happen and the teachers that are there. College is not going anywhere anytime soon. It's not. It's just not. However, there are alternatives, and we know that. And the whole case of bringing the situation up was what's happening with this polling. So as many attacks that continue to come at Donald Trump, we have never seen a political figure face more than Donald Trump, yet he is still leading in polling or within the striking distance of the margin of error, which is usually 3 to 5%, some polling 3 to 6%. You still have him there. He is still there. The attacks, the things that we have never seen in the history of this country happening to this man are not working. If anything, it's dividing the country more so. And maybe, Lizzie, that's what this is about.
Yes.
Dividing the country, because we are divided and we're not between the ideals, and more so than ever. I'm just curious to see if another set of indictments come out, what it will continue to do for Donald Trump.
And it's definitely made to divide the Republican side. To have all of these people running, it helps Trump, but they want to divide the Republicans, so we keep getting weaker and weaker and weaker.
You saw what happened, and it continues to go. The issue that I have with this whole situation is what good is going on with with Joe Biden right now? There's nothing. There's really not good. And one of the biggest deals of everything that's going on that I see from the standpoint, Lizzie, is inflation and money. Yes. Because we all know that Americans have always voted with their pocketbooks, or at least up until the last election.
Correct.
And we know that there are some disparities that come into play. I have a good friend. He is 30 years old. He is a black man. He's a former St. Louis County cop. I did a news story on him. We're going to have him on the show. He had a very interesting situation. He was beaten by St. Louis City cops.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
recently?
No, this was years ago.
Okay.
But the case is still going on.
Okay.
He was mistaken for a thief at the time. So it was a bad St. Louis City cops were not, let's just say, educated properly on these traffic stops, or at least that's the case.
Correct.
That's why he ended up suing it was a big news story. I did it when I worked at Fox 2. He is as hardcore liberal left as you're going to find. And he can't believe that there's anybody in America that would want to vote for Donald Trump. And he says, listen, I do not think that Joe Biden is the answer, but I think that Donald Trump would be the worst. Now, we're going to have him on the show. He's intelligent. He's articulate. He's educated very well. And he hates Trump.
I wonder who he'd vote for then.
Well, anybody anybody but Trump.
Anybody but Trump. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why our country's in this problem, is anybody but Trump.
But he would love to see a debate with the other Democratic candidates like Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
which the Democrats are not allowing.
Right. They're not going to let him do that because I see a lot of
I do think, Tara, that he would get behind RFK. Yeah, I do think, no doubt about it. Anybody but Trump. And you'll see that when these things happen. Anybody but Trump.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the worst things that is happening under Biden right now, and the list is long and distinguished, I see is inflation, the prices. Our money is under attack. It has been under attack. We have given so much money out. We have not made people be accountable for it. We're going to pay for all the money that has been printed. This hits home for me. And I know we've talked about it from time to time here on the show. Pro Joe, if you could show that picture. I'm shopping yesterday, and I know you guys have talked about it, but I'm at a St. Louis area grocery store yesterday, and I was so pissed when I saw this. Okay. The price tag on that small steak, $30. It was at $30.71 I had there. Yeah, $30.
It's ridiculous. It really is.
Just for that small. I mean, you can kind of see my thumb for that porterhouse.
And it's not even a pound and a half. It's like 1.28 pounds.
I mean,
holy cow. Literally, holy cow.
30 gas is going, it's creeping back up. It's not as bad as it has been. But think about this. You're talking about then with tax over $31 for that small little porterhouse in plastic.
Right. In plastic.
In a grocery store. And I'm not trying to rip the local grocer schnooks because
it's happening everywhere. I mean, it is.
Yeah, it's happening everywhere. But just in case you saw it, because the Schnucks bet is on there. Jeff says Costco steaks are the best as well as prices. But I'm just going through. I mean, it was a little late night shopping, trying to get some things for my kids. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, what? And I look around like,
what in the world? Was anybody else picking that steak up and buying it?
No, it was late. I was by myself. Michelle says the best option is to go to a meat market, order half side of beef, and go to the small rural towns where you'll get the best grass-feed beef. I agree, 100%.
Yes, and farmers markets, wherever you live, is a good thing. But you know, my kids keep...
This is inflation, and it's 100% on the Biden administration.
100%.
You can't continue to print money. You can't continue to just throw it all out there and allow it to happen. Did we have $30 steaks during the Trump administration?
Absolutely not. No, we didn't. Even M&Ms. Yesterday, my kids brought in a bag, and the M&Ms were $9 for a bag that would have cost even a couple years ago $2.50, and they keep calling it shrinkflation. It's because you pay more and you're getting
bags.
less. Yeah,
cereal,
all air. It's all air now.
I'm glad that people are like, "What the hell?" Because I was like, "What the hell?" I could not believe that small little steak would be $31. You could go to restaurants and probably get a better steak.
You can. The same issue with, I ordered a head of cauliflower and a head of broccoli because I was going to make a veggie tray. And they're like literally the size of a softball.
Oh, wow.
And they're the same price, if not more expensive. I also was shopping for a round loaf of rye bread.
Yes.
$100.
What?
It was on Walmart.com. Search for a round rye bread, like during holidays, you rip out the middle and you dip it.
You dip it in the dill dip.
Yeah. $100.
I've noticed
where
that
they were getting it from, but $100.
Yeah. Have you noticed that, Joe, that if you go online now at Walmart, Amazon, any of that, the prices are skyrocketing. Yeah. They're more expensive now online on things. We have a pool, and the pool chemicals at Amazon are $90 for like 12 tablets on Amazon. Crazy. It's unreal. It's unreal.
What was the pricing?
There was you can get 12 tablets. And if you go on Amazon, it was $90 for something we used to pay $15 4 years ago. And then last year it creeped up, and then it keeps creeping up. It was $90 online.
Well, I'm just wondering if the prices are different in different parts of the country too. Clearly, we're a national topic show. We're based out of the St. Louis area, but as you know, we have listeners and viewers from all over the country. I'm just curious what kind of prices people are seeing with certain issues like that, because we haven't seen, not recently, I haven't, tell me if I'm wrong, I hadn't heard about meat prices being that high by any publications, by any newscast. That shocked me. That's why maybe I'm off base for thinking that.
No, that's crazy. That's really expensive, Vic.
Yeah, blew my mind. I don't know. Yeah, 14. I don't know what that was. 2K Pounder says never going to see Trump win again or Sale win. I guess that was. Donna says Walmart.com makes a lot of mistakes the other way as well. I've seen that happen. I mean, people are human. We know that people who are working a lot of the service jobs, you're not held to as much of a higher standard anymore. You're just not. We've talked about that. You got to get people just to work, period. If you get people to work, period, then you have a situation. Yeah, Jay, this is kind of my situation is too. Jay says we're averaging $600 a month in groceries. Mine's even higher.
Yeah, mine's higher than that too, and it's nuts.
And that's with 3 of us, but that's three guys doing that. Yeah, Drew, inflation is everywhere. I go to Europe. I get it. But just because something else is bad doesn't mean you have to compare yourself to something else that's bad. Because if you start to accept a lower standard one day,
Correct.
2 days later, well, we're here. We can 5 years later, you'll see where you were and what you've allowed yourself to become. You can't just accept that. And if you continue to vote in the type of people that you are, this is what happens.
Inflation, then they raise minimum wage, then inflation, then they raise minimum wage,
Correct.
then inflation.
Not to mention the interest rates, which
Drew,
are going up and will continue to go up as well.
And speaking to Drew or anybody like that, I don't care what Europe is doing or Germany's doing or any of that. I care what's happening in the United States. That's where we live. So if he worried about what's going on in Europe, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's why we needed somebody like President Trump, who was America first. America first.
We appreciate the interaction on this live portion of our podcast, the viewing aspect of it, the audio aspect gets laid down about 30 minutes after the show ends. But for those who do join us live, we appreciate your interaction. Sherry says our standards are lowered to accommodate the lifting up of others. Once again, playing on Americans' heart. You have to be careful about what happens with that. Jeannie says, I did catch a great sale at Schnucks, that St. Louis area store, which I was bringing up, a 4-package meat for $20. Yeah. You can also get some interesting deals if it's day of or last sale, but you better be careful with that meat that you're getting as well, because you're rolling the dice. You got to be careful about the meat that you're going to get as well. And it's beyond minimum wage now. Billions of dollars dumped into Ukraine, as we already know. That's a whole nother side story that we do cover a lot on the show because other shows don't. They think everything. And I do think that we're getting to a point where it may be switching in America. It's like, wait a second, there's no turning in this Ukraine-Russian war. Even though Donald Trump says he would end the war within 24 hours.
I bet he would too.
And you know what's interesting? Because it's all kind of part of this conversation, Zelensky over the weekend came out and said he doubts that the president or the former president could end it in 24 hours, but he wasn't as defiant as I thought he would. Really? He's like, well, I doubt he could end it in 24 hours. I mean, saying that you could end that war in 24 hours is pretty damn bold. As bold as it gets. And then the guy who was a part of it says, I doubt he could, but he wasn't fighting back really harsh.
We'll hear more about that.
It made me
Chanel
think that
tomorrow.
It made me think that maybe Trump does know something that he could do. And we knew that he had world leaders from other countries at a standstill. They couldn't do anything when Donald was in office. And since you brought it up, can you promote tomorrow? I think that's a great time to promote our guest.
I can. Chanel Rian is going to be here, not be here. She'll be on video chat at 9:30, and that's Central Standard Time here. She's on a different time zone, and she's going to be doing a 3-part series on OAN about what's going on in Ukraine. OAN sent people on the ground as citizens, not reporters, watching exactly what's going on there. So she's got documents, proofs, video, and it'll be really exciting to hear what she's saying. And it'll also infuriate us too.
Wow. Okay. So did she give you any idea how long they've been doing this report or studying on this report? Because
it's been since 2019. Is when she's been doing that. She tried to break this. She kind of warned people what was going on in 2019. And it even wraps up things in the laptop. This really does all go back. It coincides. In 2019, I saw pictures on the laptop. So she had the laptop because the laptop went to Rudy Giuliani. And that is one of her very best friends. So she saw it. She started even sending me some pictures. And the only reason she did that is she knew that I would be irate because it was things that were going on to Asian little girls. And I have 2 Asian daughters. So the laptop is still very integral in what's going on in Ukraine. So in 2019, that's when they started sending people over there, and they have all the proof of it all.
Well, we're going to look forward to that. Chanel Rion with OAN. We've had her on the show before. Super popular guest. I mean, we've been grateful. A lot of our guests are told by our viewers and our listeners as their favorite guest. Chanel is one of them as well. She blows people away because of her intelligence, her experience. She's not afraid. She's easy on the eyes, and she's a sweet person as well. You won't want to miss that coming up tomorrow at 9:30. And it's a big deal, especially for our country, considering the fact that we have so many money issues. We have the inflation problems, yet we continue to write checks to Ukraine. And by the way, much of that money, it's unaccounted for. We can't really track where every penny goes. It's a massive issue, especially when we're dealing with the inflation issues that we're talking about right now. We continue to talk about what's happening right here. We're talking about the inflation. I do agree it started with COVID, and Joe Biden and his administration made it even worse, to the fact that I just showed the price for a $31 small little porterhouse at Schnucks. And you can find deals here and there, but the inflation problem is massive. It continues to get worse. We continue to try to find an idea of what's going to happen. Robert says gross national debt hits $32 trillion for the first time in U.S. history. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that the nation's deficit, our nation, the United States of America, supposedly at one point in time, we were the greatest nation in the world. We're not right now. We're not. Get over it. We're not. Our debt is way too high. Estimates that the nation's deficit for 2023 is going to hit just this year $1.4 trillion.
Unreal.
Just for the year. It continues to go higher and higher and higher. And then you hear people, well, it's a known fact. Conservatives in D.C., for all their issues, for all their problems, for all the complaints of a uniparty, do try to cut spending. The Democrats are, hey, we need government. We need spending. Government's good. These are the problems that we have going on. Jeannie says buy half a cow. I have been looking at that. I have been looking at butchers and things of that nature, trying to figure out my situation, although I do have another child getting ready to go to college, so won't be around as much. And then it would just be myself and another one, although that kid eats a lot. So I don't know.
Still need that cow.
Maybe a quarter,
need the cow.
Maybe a quarter calf. I don't know. We'll see. But it is another thing to look at when you think about what's happening with the inflation. And it's not just the meat; it's other prices of things as well. I mean, it blows my mind. It's supposed to be healthy. Protein shakes, if you go to the same grocery stores too, you're hitting almost $5 a protein shake.
That's crazy.
It's just like a Starbucks coffee. Sherry says half a side of beef, $1,600. $1,600 for a side of beef? And for how long? Once again, I'm just uneducated with this.
Yeah, Sherry's right like that. If you go to an actual butcher, which is probably where we should get our meat, it's more healthy, but that's about the price of it.
I mean, are people seeing other pricing craziness when it comes to the inflation aspect? And it's 100% directly related to the Biden administration. And we continue to see him out making a fool of himself at these press conferences, whether he's stumbling or bumbling at a microphone. And then we continue to see the kind of decisions that are not make America great decisions. They're not policies that help this country. They're just not. And if you really want to have a debate about it where everybody gets their chance to talk, it's pretty clear it's not working. It's not working. And it is interesting that we talk about this. We do say, because we do want this country to succeed. And, every time that we have a holiday, we appreciate, it's a federal holiday today. It's Juneteenth, the official ending of slavery, where announcement was made in 1856 in Galveston, Texas. We want to be a united country on every front. But I'm sorry, we continue to see the policies of the left divide this country. We continue to see issues of money, inflation, our country, where we're not a united country. We're just not. And it's not getting any better. And we see that. Robert says the advantage of buying from the butcher, especially burgers, is that the meat is all from the same animal. I have
Yes.
heard that before.
Yes.
Paul says you can go to the St. Charles local meat markets. You choose the amount of meat and what cuts you want for way less. I appreciate this. We're getting some good updates for people, not only throughout the St. Louis area, but all around the country when you figured that stuff out. Mary says, and I see people saying that Trump spent too much. No. Not, so I guess that makes it okay for Joe. Then you have to break down where the spending was and is this really good for what America is trying to do as well. All your other bills, according to Melinda, she says, just take a look at it. Partially higher, or at least they're all higher, partially due to the increased taxes. Ameren, your cell phone, water bills, they are. Now that I think about it, I've been looking at those bills going, holy moly.
Yes.
Those continue to go up. Anthony says he goes to his own little meat market as well. Let's see. Yeah. So anyway, those are some of the things that are going on. If you have prices of certain things that are driving you crazy that you continue to see, let us know. Because we're all dealing with it now. I don't see it getting any better anytime soon, especially when we know and see the attacks that are happening. We broke down the BRICS effect on Friday, 20 countries now lining up to join Brazil, Russia, India, China, these people coming in, all trying to jump in, including Saudi Arabia and 20 other countries trying to jump in. And by the way, as we've reminded everybody, and we've continued to hit on it since this podcast began at the start of the year, it's all about going after the dollar. BRICS not using the dollar. Once again, BRICS not using the dollar. People need to get real about it. Trish also says dog food outrages. Going to start making my own for dog food. That'll piss people off.
Yeah, it will, but
you want to try to feed the pets at twice the price? You'll look at that and go, okay, maybe that's what we need.
Right. Maybe
that'll win the voters back over.
Oh.
Kevin says, by the way, and he's talking about where he lives in the St. Louis area, St. Louis City, jacking up water bills by 40%.
Yes.
How about using the COVID money that you got instead to help that? But they're trying to utilize, 40%. That's not, by the way, the St. Louis area is supposed to have a lot of water, a lot of good water, allegedly, in Missouri of all places.
Yes, we own property in the city of St. Louis, and the water bills have the taxes are high, but the water bills are low and a flat rate, and it's a single family house. And so that part was good. And then we get a letter that 40% they're going to jack it up. It's still lower than out
When did you get
county.
the letter?
About a month ago. Right about a month ago. And so it's still probably going to be lower than where we live out in the suburbs because our water is much higher in the suburbs. But I agree with you, Vic. That's the one thing that St. Louis City had over most places was cheap water bill, cheap trash, cheap sewer. And now they're going to jack it up.
Can't get the trash delivered these days.
Right. You can't get it picked up. You will go in the alleys of even these beautiful homes and see just trash all up and down the alleys.
Yeah, it's one of those things that are going on. We appreciate some of the things. I had no idea. I forgot about the 40% that was going up. And Jeannie says, we don't even drink our water. It is interesting. That breaks down another situation on a day that I did a deep dive. And by the way, I'm going to do a deeper dive when it comes to water and the amount of fluoride that is in regular tap water as opposed to the health water that you can get with alkaline water. It is something I've been studying. Not quite ready to jump in and do it, but we will. We appreciate that. Tracy says, my neighbors may hate me, but I will not turn on my irrigation system due to water costs. My grass looks awful. Tracy, I get it. It depends on, what's happening. Being a homeowner sucks. It does. But there are circumstances that can arise as well that can change things. I get it. I do. I get it. Dave Sparks says it's going to be $150 for 3 months now.
Well, and that's what he's meaning is it used to be like $100 or $90 in the city for 3 months. So that was really good. But then out in the county, we have $150 water bills monthly.
But what do you think? Okay, is that going to drive people away? I'm trying to think of how is it going to hurt the city?
It probably isn't one way or the other because the water bill is still lower than most places. It's just, I agree with Kevin who said the city has money. They have all that cronky money. all of that lawsuit money, they need to use it to fix the potholes and just leave the water bills alone. But it may hurt people that are low income. It may very well, and it'll jack the rent. A lot of people in the city have Airbnbs, which is kind of what we have there. And we include our utilities. So that will raise the price of people who are coming to stay there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the big cities, they do have issues. That's another one. St. Louis City certainly has its issues. Inflation's not going to help, that's for sure. Robert says that's cheap water compared to the Detroit area.
Wow.
That's interesting. I'd love to hear some prices from that standpoint too, Robert. Once again, the Detroit area, they've got the Great Lakes right there, clean water as well. And if anybody's traveled through that area, their lakes are like 100 times better than the Mississippi and the lakes you get in mid-Missouri. I'll never forget the first time I was in Detroit. I'm like, damn, the Detroit River is blue. There's clean lakes. This stuff is pretty damn beautiful and amazing compared to growing up with the brown water in mid-Missouri that I saw. Interesting. Here's a perspective when we're talking about inflation that's coming out, all because they showed a picture of a $31 small, like size of my hand porterhouse from Schnucks, a grocery chain in the St. Louis, Missouri area. He says a town, Dardine Prairie, water bill plus sewer, $250 a month. Not watering our grass in an irrigation system, but watering once a week.
With just a regular little old Walmart sprinkler. And that's how much our water bill is.
Greg, I appreciate the update here. And this return profits back to infrastructure, maintenance, instead of padding their wallets. Yeah, it would make sense. But we already know that, and I hate to say it, while there are some very good politicians, there are several that are not. And that's why you continue to see news stories of politicians padding their pockets. And then you have to imagine how many people haven't gotten caught that continue to do it. Instead of reinvesting in the brand, instead of reinvesting in the city, into the business, they put that money into the pocketbooks and it doesn't get helped. Kevin says, yes, Higgins Lake in the Michigan area. It's a beautiful lake as well. Paul says those lakes in Michigan are awesome. Up in Michigan, they're beautiful. No doubt about that. We have clean lakes, Table Rock, Clearwater, North Fork, etc. I guess that would be Missouri. We have, of course, national show listeners all across the country, people just chiming in from that standpoint. And of course, Donna says, I have rain barrels for my flowers. Be careful where you're collecting rainwater. I think Tabitha told us at one point in time,
yes,
there are governments that will come after you if you collect rainwater.
She's right. She's right about that.
There's our we've got to have our Tabitha there. No, we appreciate it. So if you have any of the pricing aspects that are happening, let us know. Inflation. I just got really, really, really pissy in that $31 steak and $5 protein bottles for drinks. And I'm not even somebody who drinks the expensive coffee. I'll drink cheap coffee. I don't care. Hell, I don't know if I could afford $8, $9 cups of coffee and $5 protein shakes and $30 steaks. Although I did not get the $31 steak. Anyway, it's what's going on. So we appreciate, people. We talk about Michigan, people from Michigan jump in. We talk about Missouri, people from Missouri jump in. We talk about Illinois, people from Illinois jump in. We talk about Florida, people jump in and talk about it. The one thing I do see, no matter what state you're in, is the story is the same. Prices are going up. There is a disconnect between governments and the people. There's a divide that we have going on. The presidential election is coming up. Nobody wants to deal with this and everything that's going on and the bickering and the back and forth until 2024. But it's one of those things that's going to continue to happen. It's just part of life. This is what happens when it comes to politics. But I think it's safe to say that right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, are we really better today in 2023 than we were 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Absolutely not.
No, not in any form. We're really not. There's nothing that's better right now. And that's what we have always said. Listen, let's get on the same page. It's great for Republicans and Democrats to get on the same page. I have these conversations with my Democratic friends, but tell me one area that we're better. We're not. We're not better. We're not. And it sucks that we can't get to that. And of course, on this show, and the people who are associated with this show believe it's by purpose. We do believe there are factions, not only in this country, but across the world, that intend and put money towards dividing us so that there is a problem, so that there is division. And then, of course, at the end of the day, as we talk about as well here, There's always been a battle between good and evil, and we'll continue to try to bring light to that because it should be easy for us to get along, at least to see what we see as black and white issues and what's best for America, at least when it comes to money. And if you like what's happening with our financial industry, what's happened over the last 2 years, if you like just printing money out of nowhere, continuing to do it at a higher rate than what we've ever done before with a $32 trillion deficit, fine. You go vote for Biden and you'll suffer the consequences. This is cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust. Lizzie Sparks here, co-hosting, and of course, running the chat line on 3 different chats. We appreciate your interaction. Rumble, Facebook, YouTube seem to be the most popular spots. We'll have Twitter up and running. Twitch as well. Clout Hub, a lot of people watch there as well. Democrat Drew says, of course, I'll be voting for Joe Biden. Okay, you go do that and you enjoy that. Tabitha Hassel out working the next 3 days. She's in Springfield. Eric Johnson coming in for our second hour. Pro Joe making sure everything is running well on the board and that we sound as good as we can as well. By the way, George Soros' son, we talked about this last week. We appreciate it, Jerry, taking over the $25 billion. Well, it's called a philanthropy. He's 100 times worse than his father. Yes. And if you missed our podcast last week, you can go back and look it up. Sherry says the Rockefellers run it well. We really have never been a free society. That's true. We've talked about that as well.
True, Sherry.
But just a reminder, Alex Soros, the son, the 37-year-old son, says that he is way more political than his dad, which is kind of scary.
That's scary. That's really scary.
And he says there's 2 massive issues that they need to attack. One, everybody getting the right to vote. And you see this invasion that's happening in our country right now at our borders. And 2, abortion, to make abortion more easily accessible at any time that a woman is pregnant. So those are the 2 issues. He came right out of the gate talking about those 2 massive issues. Hey, you decide what's best for you when you see those things coming down. What kind of a country do we really want America to be?
Correct. And he makes no bones about wanting the peons, like he would consider all of us, to abort our children, not to get any food, not to get any good food, because he truly feels we are taking away his resources. We are not on the level as him. And when he gets really emboldened, we really have to watch out.
Maybe this will be a question he can think about it. Kimberly says, Drew, can you answer why you're voting for Biden without using Trump in a sentence? Yeah, of course he'll come up with something. But anyway, it's what happens. It's this country. All right, Michelle, you cap off this first hour of the podcast in a perfect way. Can't fix stupid.
That is great. Can't fix stupid.
This is cancelthisshow.com. We'll take a quick break. Please check out our advertisers, our partners who make this possible. If you want to be a part of this, let us know. If you know a national sponsor, if you know somebody we could partner with from a local standpoint, let us know as well. You can contact Lizzie. It's very simple. And then we jump on to continue our free speech and what we do here. We'll take a quick break. We come back. We're going to tell you about who we are. Alex from Raising Sales, our marketing guy. He was very popular when he came on to talk about our AI segment. He'll be on to explain who we are, what's happening. We've also got to get into the subject of what Los Angeles and New York are trying to do to keep you off their roads. We have reached that point. We know what tolls are. They're trying to put tolls on steroids in these cities. Plus, Anheuser-Busch continues to feel the heat. Now we'll tell you what they're trying to do for their distributors just to save their business. They're in a free fall. They have not hit rock bottom. We'll tell you how much they've lost. This is Cancel This. I'm Vic Faust, back with more after this.
And now it's here, the unveiling of the latest Carroll House lifestyle collections. I'm Brooke with my sister Amy, inviting you to see 3 football fields of the latest styles.
Our new lifestyle collections are premium quality furniture made exclusively for us and available only at Carroll House.
The attention to detail is unmatched, and so is the value, nearly half the price of a typical gallery store.
Plus, get free financing, delivery, and in-home design. Carroll House, because you like nice things.
Marco, wait, What, no response? Hi, I'm Curtis Sparks with Complete Auto Body and Repair, offering full service and auto repair to St. Louis and St. Charles. We are looking for someone to say polo. That's right, we are hiring. We want you now. If you would like to work in a well-paying environment, then you owe it to yourself to stop by one of our 6 Complete Auto Body and Repair locations. Will you help me find that missing person? Please call me directly at 636-488-HIRE. That's right, 636-488-4473.
Dad and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixed the cars.
Kathy O. Big Strick, owner of Experience Real Estate Partners with eXp, has been one of St. Louis, Missouri's highest selling groups for 26 years running. In that time, Kathy and her team have successfully assisted an incredible 4,000 families. So if you're thinking about buying, building, or selling, be sure to put Kathy's group and their experience to work for you, and you can expect to be moved. Just give her a call at 314-276-SOLD. That's 314-276-7653, or find her online at experience-re.com.
As all of you may know, the home of the Cancel This studio is located at the all-inclusive private jet hangar, Strategic Air Services. Founded in Chesterfield, Missouri, they take pride in offering a meticulous approach to private aviation through services that fully manage your trip from takeoff to landing. Strategic Air Services is more than just storage for your aircraft. They offer state-of-the-art amenities to its members and guests. When you are not traveling, you have the luxury of enjoying their world-class gym, conference rooms, lounges, and so much more. Strategic Air Services offers an unparalleled luxury experience for all things private aviation. If you're looking for a new place to call home for your aircraft, give them a call today at 636-400-7601. Again, that's 636-400-7601, or visit their website at strategicairservices.net.
Winties in the Chesterfield Valley, if you don't know, is a family-owned business that has been around since 1994, serving some of the best chicken wings in town, no joke. Also known for their fresh burgers, pizza, and incredible smoked meat. Top-notch happy hour specials are included, plus live music every Friday and Saturday. Oh yeah, you can also enjoy their spacious heated covered patio. It's Winties in the Chesterfield Valley, 18,000 Chesterfield Airport Road. Hey guys, welcome into cancelthisshow.com. It is June 19th. Happy Juneteenth. I'm Vic Faust. Tabitha Hassel working in her movie job. She's there for the next couple days as well. Liz Parks in studio running our chat line as well. We've also got Pro Joe running the boards, making us looking good as sound as we possibly can. And of course, I'm Vic Faust. CancelTheShow.com Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central. And all the time on our website, CancelTheShow.com. We love it when you guys make comments. All you have to do is put a little thumbs up, whatever. It helps with how these platforms work to make sure that we get to as many people as we possibly can. It is Monday. It was a big weekend of news. We've been getting into some of those stories. We've been doing what we've been doing for a while, and we continue to try to make the show as good as we possibly can. With that being said, we bring in our friend, our marketing director, Alex McArthy from Raising Sales. Alex, good morning. We appreciate you jumping in. The last time you were talking AI, that was super popular. Today, we thought it'd be a good time to let everybody know how their support is helping us, who we are, what we are, how we're growing, and how people can help us.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me okay?
We can.
Awesome. All right. So yeah, essentially last week we were seeing a culmination of all of our efforts and the audience's efforts manifest in some awesome numbers. And we said, hey, why don't we show this to the audience? First, to kind of just outline, hey, your guys' efforts every single day, whether that's liking, commenting, sharing, sending the link to friends, all of that stuff is paying off in a big way. And sometimes it's difficult to tell from a day-to-day perspective, or just kind of while you're in the trenches, that granular number, because a lot of us are seeing maybe how many views we have live on one platform, not realizing, we're over 12. I think we're over 12 platforms now. And so, yeah, I just kind of wanted to dive in. I'm going to share my screen here in a moment and show you guys just some basic information, some data. I won't bore everyone with very intense analytics, But I think it's definitely important for us to highlight, for our sponsors to know how quickly we're growing and kind of where we are headed. So without further ado, let me share my screen here. Okay. And you guys let me know if you can see that all right.
And you can just continue on, buddy.
Okay. So what I'm going to show you right here, this is a analytics dashboard that is feeding directly from the platforms that it's connected with. So all of this is live data directly from the source. It's not something that we're inputting or necessarily uploading. So it's kind of the raw, real data. A lot of this is stuff we show our sponsors on a monthly basis. The first one I kind of wanted to get into, this is all-time episode views in our 7 months being live. A few things to note before I jump in. This isn't all our platforms because not everything links up to this system, Instagram being one, which I'll go over later. But we've got a huge number here. We've hit over 500,000 views across all platforms. That's this total here. And that includes YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, the podcasts, which we're on Apple Music. We are on Spotify, we're on Google Podcasts, and we are on iHeartRadio. The website, for those of you that kind of just like going to cancelthisshow.com and watching the show on the site, and then Cloud Hub as well. And as you guys might be able to tell, what jumps out here, Facebook is the biggest, certainly, with almost 280,000. YouTube second, and then of course we've got Rumble and Cloud Hub as those other big numbers. And then a lot of folks forget the listeners, the podcasts. We do not stream those live, but we've got a very healthy community of folks that like to listen to us as well. So that's kind of just a nice preview of us from a total all-time views perspective. Again, we're probably missing about 70 to 80,000 from these other platforms that we can't directly integrate with. And you'll kind of be able to see that a little bit further. And we are almost at a year's worth of total watch time on YouTube alone. So just kind of a interesting fact there. So I'm gonna go on to the next one. This is just like week by week. The last 7 days, as you can see here, June 12th through June 18th. We are sitting at 33,000 total views for those same platforms. And yeah, as you can see, even we got it broke down for how many views we get per visit on Facebook. So what we're looking at right now is about an average of 9 views per visit. So a person that hits the Facebook page, maybe they don't follow us, they're not a regular subscriber, they're checking out 9 different videos or video clips per visit. And so for those of you that are listening right now that may be a regular listener and have not followed or liked our pages or subscribed, let's say on YouTube or Rumble, please do that now. It's the best way to guarantee that we're going to pop up in your feed on a daily basis, because at some point these platforms might decide, hey, we kind of don't like what Cancel This is talking about, and start reducing how many times they recommend us. And that could happen too if you are subscribed, but it's less likely. So yeah, if you have not yet, please like and follow or hit that subscribe button. We can't stress how much that impacts us. So just Facebook alone, we're sitting almost at 18,000 views in the last week.
No, that's great stuff. I'm just glad we had almost a 200,000 audience reach number just last month in the last 30 days. That's a number that gets me more excited than anything, Alex.
Yep, and we'll be jumping into the reach right here. So yeah, we're at 210,000. For those of you that are not familiar, audience reach, this means a piece of our content, whether that's a post, a video, or an episode, a live view like this, all of that's combined. And anytime someone has seen it. So these platforms can determine, okay, they've stopped or paused while they were scrolling through their news feed, or they clicked on a post. Maybe there's an engagement or a comment on a post. All of that stuff gets counted into that reach number. And so just in the last 30 days, we're at 210,000, almost 250,000 folks.
Hey, Alex, the numbers are great. I appreciate it. Before we move on and do something else, because I know you've got another business meeting that you have to run to, can you explain why this podcasting platform is better and how we can show information than, let's say, another platform like radio?
Sure, absolutely. So what we have here is a super dynamic medium, which is goes far beyond, let's say, radio or television, in that obviously it's got that visual aspect that radio just simply does not have. Usually they're having to explain something or tell you to go look it up on your own. We can show it right here on screen for you. And then from a television perspective, you've got that visual component, of course, the audio, but you don't have that interactivity as well that's happening in the live chat and then post live chat in the comments, which is just folks talking to each other, replying, sharing information, sharing resources, as well as just being able to click on the links and stuff that we put out there as well. And before we jump to Vic, I did want to highlight our Facebook is skyrocketing. So there's some folks that have gone through and liked all our past posts. That was a huge help and a huge boost for us. That day we got over 4,000 viewers. And on the podcast side, we've got some awards or badges that our system has given us. We've gotten over 10,000 podcast listens. We are now at over 25 countries that we're regularly being played in.
Damn, 25 countries?
Yeah.
I didn't realize we were in that many. That's awesome.
And then most popular, this is an interesting one. This piece of information essentially lays out how often people are coming back. So they're not just listening once, they're coming back regularly. I believe the number these days we're up to 76% impactful plays, which means that 76% of the listens are going all the way through to, I think, 75% of the show listened to. So they're not just clicking, listening to a couple minutes and jumping off. 76% of the people are listening to 3/4 of the episode at the very least. And so for a 2-hour podcast, that's a huge number. So just want to shout out to the audience. Great work, you guys, and let's keep it up.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Alex. Also, want to cancel this Patriots. These are some of the social warriors we've had who have donated so many stars at the top of our list. And if I missed something, Alex, in regards to why they're on the list, can you tell me right now?
Sure, absolutely.
Victor Joseph, Kevin Joseph, Cindy Giordano, Michelle, forgive me for my name spelling, guys, Michelle Lazuski, Dana Hoffman, Kimberly Klusner, Jim Fornkall, Mary Tainter, John Daddy, Jamie Human, Donna Oshie, and John Smith. We appreciate you guys. You guys have been, and we appreciate everybody, but these were just, Alex had to cut it off after 12?
Yeah, so this is something we're hoping to continue to do moving forward, which is just highlighting folks in the audience that are huge supporters of the show, whether that's sharing and liking, as you guys have been doing, sending stars, donating as well. If you go to cancelthisshow.com/donate, there's an opportunity to support the show that way as well. As Vic said, if we missed you, my apologies. That's totally on me. But you'll have plenty of opportunity in the coming weeks and months to get your name on the board. And it's just kind of a new way for us to highlight and show our appreciation for everyone that's helping us get the message out, because we always complain about the left having control of the media and having the eyeballs. Well, this is how we fight back directly by supporting and promoting the media outlets and the content creators out there that are pushing against that leftist narrative. And so you really are having an impact on the greater movement that is, taking this country back.
Alex, we appreciate it, my friend. Have a great day, and we'll continue to move forward. And by the way, reminding everybody, if you haven't yet liked our Instagram page, Cancel This. Go ahead and like it and check out some of the shorts that are going on. Alex, we appreciate it.
Thanks, Alex.
Guys. Have a good one.
Thank you, Alex.
Lizzie, anything you want to add from the standpoint of what you've seen out there as well?
Oh, they really matter. What Alex was saying is the listeners, of course they matter because that's what we're here for. But when they do interact, they do talk, even if they just say hi with a hand wave, that makes a big difference. Not only do other patriots hear how important the information that we're getting out, they matter. They make the whole reason that we're so successful right now. Yes, we love our sponsors. They're great. We can't do it without them, but the listeners are who we're doing it for. And we are so grateful. We are so grateful for each and every one of them. And on that list, as Alex had said, there is more of you. We are aware. That just happened to be in the last couple months, the either, like Alex said, the biggest donors, that sort of thing. But all of you, even if you weren't on that list, we see you. We do see you.
And we're going to have a competition or a contest coming up.
That'll be
and
great.
that's when I was like, we love donations if we get them, but I was almost like, just hold off, because I'd like people, if you get a chance to donate, that'll give you a chance to win something.
This is going to be great.
Yeah, every single week coming up.
Yes.
And I know this is an exciting podcasting material right now.
But this will be exciting, Vic. This will be great.
But this is housekeeping that we had to take care of
Yes.
so that we can stay on the air and continue to do what we're doing. We just want you, if you've donated, we appreciate it, but we're going to have a contest coming. It's going to give you a chance to win something on a weekly basis for a donation and for an entire year.
I love it so much.
And it's going to help us out as well. We'll explain more about that. We're getting close to launching that as well. So thanks again for sitting with us through that whole situation, trying to look at all the 12 different platforms that we're on right now. We've managed to keep most of the people. Only a couple of people turned off, but I know that's not very exciting. But at the same point, we've been asked who we are, what we are, why advertisers should get involved. Why should we tell, our friends about you guys? Why should we go and try to promote for you guys? That's a reason.
Yes.
Right there.
I think it was important. I know it's not exciting, but it is important. And I think our avid listeners like that we're being transparent about it. So I think that's
we love what we do.
Yeah,
it's not
great.
easy, but we love what we do.
It's so fun.
And we
it's
plan
so
on
fun.
continuing to do that as well. This is cancelthisshow.com. On this June 19th, happy Juneteenth. That is a federal holiday today. You will not be getting any mail, just in case if you were planning on using the post office wherever you are around the country, or if you were planning on using any government businesses as you wake up on a Monday morning. Projo's here, engineering, making sure that we look and sound as good as we can. We have our intern Chase in studio today. Lizzie Sparks is here. I'm Vic Faust. Tabitha is working today. Eric, I'm not sure where Eric is today, but that's the beauty of this show. We do what we do, and we're ready to rock and roll regardless of what
the
happens.
aliens got him. It was aliens.
I did look at the chat line, and somebody says Tabitha's not there because she channeled a demon over the weekend, and that there was an ET in her tree. She didn't really post that on Facebook, did she?
Yes, she did.
No, she did.
Yes, she did. She really did. She had a picture of her cabin, which at her new place.
She's lying. She wants us to go viral because she loves us and cares.
Well, I'm glad she's doing it because there's a cabin on her new property, and she said she saw something in there. But I think she believes it. I don't think she's joshing us. I think she believes it's there. But I liked it. It wasn't even only because, poor Vic, God love you. But there is, the thing up in the tree. I got to see a picture of a really cool cabin. And what she doesn't know is I'm going to show up there one day and tell her I'm going to be camping on her 4.5 acres. I'm going to camp in her cabin. She doesn't know it yet. So maybe if she doesn't listen to this, she won't know my surprise of me coming out. And then I'm going to take a picture of that.
Okay. Was this up in the trees?
Yes, up in the trees. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Up in the trees.
I'm going to, I'll try. Do possums go in trees?
I thought they only stayed on the ground. Do possums?
Yeah.
I guess they go up.
Yeah, they do.
They actually hang from their tail from branches.
Well, then maybe it is a possum, but don't tell that to Tabitha. Don't tell her. Let her have this dream.
I didn't see the post, so.
Go look at it. Pull it up right now. Actually, pull it up. Joe, if you can pull up her Facebook page and get her post, it's awesome. It'll show the little cabin too.
I get it. Yeah, it was a snipe. She saw a snipe.
It probably was.
We go snipe hunting.
Yes.
Okay. When did you? So she posted this when?
I think yesterday or Saturday night. But there is a post, so you do have to pull it up. If nothing, to see her cool little cabin.
Okay. Yeah.
But yes. Okay. Well, they go in the trees. All right. But you know what? She believes that. Raccoons are nocturnal.
Well, it is one of those things, though. There are people in this life that everything that they see, she wants to meet an alien. So if you want to meet an alien, if you want to have that experience,
right,
you're going to look and push yourself toward that opportunity. Oh, yes, they've come for me. I see them now.
Yes.
I've had my life experience. I'm Tabitha. I've seen an alien.
She sees dead people too, Vic. She sees dead people. Well, I just made that up.
It's not on her page anymore. I don't see it.
Oh,
let me go see if I can find it. You know what? I'm the opposite. I don't believe any of that stuff at all. Like, I don't believe any of that. And like, you can't hypnotize me because I don't believe any of that. So I love when Tabitha, I live vicariously through her great mind of doing that, because I'm a Missouri girl. You have to show me in black and white, or I do not believe it.
Yeah, well, Aaron says Tabitha just wants to get probed by an alien.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
That's my Tabitha. Of course.
That is great. That is great.
Hey, who doesn't want to get probed?
Okay.
I don't blame her.
Okay, here it is. It says, let me see if I can put it up.
But she wants one with big eyes.
Can you guys? Okay, hold on.
What? No, that's not work.
It's not really working. But see the cabin, and I'll read it to you. Here we go.
I didn't see it.
That's what it is right there. And I liked it. Since I'm so surfacey, saw it and thought, what a beautiful cabin. Because her property is just amazing. And what she said is, walked out to the little cabin, and there is a very angry something up in the trees. But I think the caption's gone, because Vic, I do think you're right. I think there was something about aliens or something in there. But maybe the very angry something in her trees is a raccoon.
This was the picture she said that she thought there was an alien in. No, there's nothing in there.
I think maybe she does mean it's a raccoon.
I got it on the screen now. I did find it.
Did you find it? Okay.
That's why I didn't even think that this was it. So
where's the? Okay, that's good. But
that is good.
Where is the alien supposed to be in this picture?
There it is,
hanging upside down.
See it right there, right there. That's what it is.
This right here. Is it? Where the mouse is at?
Won't it be fun? I'm going to live stream it when I go, and she won't even know that I'm there. And I'm going to just drive out to her place.
No, that's a tree.
That's a tree?
Dear God. Oh, that's all right, though. If it brings us more listeners and viewers, so be it.
That brings me joy, just looking at her property. And it's going to bring me joy when I drive out there and I try to open the door, and she opens the door and she's going, what the hell are you doing there? That's what I'm going to do. I can't wait.
Right.
I'm going to spend that. And she can make me a ham. She can make me a ham. Mm-hmm.
Tabitha Hassel, she'll be back sooner or later. We'll see. She's out alien hunting, and that's fine. Hey, this is cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks here, co-hosting today, running our live chat as well. Projo here, and our intern Chase. You can always catch us at cancelthisshow.com. By the way, Anheuser-Busch has not stopped their free fall. 24% of the company washed away with that Bud Light ad that they did with Dylan Mulvaney. It has not ended. Their repeated, and I mean repeated, refusal to apologize for what they did continues to hurt the company. I asked a couple bar owners over the weekend, has anything changed? They said, nope. Bud Light still not being chosen for anything but Bud Light. That's what's happening right now. As a matter of fact, things have gotten so bad for Bud Light because not only have they doubled down, they have tripled down on everything that's going on. Now they're paying an even bigger price. Anheuser-Busch is now in a situation where they have been forced to offer what is, I guess, the essential part of financial assistance to the distributors, the wholesalers that are selling their beer because they can't make any money. They're done. They are toast. They are having so many issues right now. So on Friday, what happened, they were offering free beer before to the distributors. Then they said they were going to buy back the beer. Now they are offering a plan to offer financial assistance to the distributor so that they can borrow money so that things can work out until they get back up and running. Because now it is hitting home with the distributors, which unfortunately hits a lot of people that don't even agree with what Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch has done and or is doing, but that's their job. You may know something about this. We broadcast out of the St. Louis, Missouri area. It's our backyard where Anheuser-Busch has chosen this sort of situation to get involved with. They have deliberately put their stake in the ground for transgender rights, for transgender surgeries for kids, for transgender everything. They've done it. It's not us saying this. We're just bringing the facts. This is who they want to be as a company. They're allowed to be that way. Nobody can stop them. The only thing that can stop them is if you don't agree with them, and then you stop buying their product, and then you stop buying any of their products. They haven't apologized. They said that they're now going to start up a new ad campaign. This is where there may be some hope for Anheuser-Busch. If anybody's listening and they're going to get things right, let them know. We'll promote their beer if they're going to get things back on track. Hey,
Sure.
If you want to start over with us. We'll put it out there. We'll do a Bud Light can of the day or a Budweiser can of the day every damn day. We've had some damn good cans over the years. Hell, I look at the collection with my friend Ben. Over Wenty's. He's got cans. He's got like 40 cans, the best cans you could ever imagine. I got a damn cool Mizzou can in my car. If Bud Light wants to start over with us.
I think,
but I don't know if they want to start over.
Deerberg's, which is a very kind of an affluent grocery store in the St. Louis area, feels the same way as you. I wonder if they got paid because they had a big Father's Day display with Bud Light, like a pyramid Bud Light, and then they had rainbow like balloons and stuff. So they got a huge backlash this weekend and took their displays. Well, they didn't take the displays down, but they took the rainbow flags down and kind of moved the Bud Light away from right at the front of the store.
Well, Carlene says shareholders will buy up shares at lower prices and make out bigger when they do have a comeback. If they have a comeback. Yeah. And that's impossible to predict. You'd have to think that a company like that would, but there's no guarantee anymore. There's no guarantee that that's going to happen. But now, once again, it's every week we have a new Bud Light update or Anheuser-Busch update. I guess this is the biggest amount of hope, but what we have seen from the CEO thus far gives us no reason for hope that Anheuser-Busch is going to change a philosophy, is going to change their marketing. Maybe, but maybe not. What we've seen so far is several commercials and statements that have been very lukewarm at best that have not moved the needle. If you defy your base, if you go against your base, and then you have opportunity after opportunity to make right, hey, it's one thing to make a mistake, and this was a big mistake by financial aspects. Just apologize. That's what if you make a mistake, apologize. Just apologize. Sometimes we screw up. Apologize and try to move on. If the other people don't want to accept apologies, that's on them. But Bud Light has never apologized to their consumer base. I think it would be a big deal if they did. And it doesn't matter if the ESG is forcing them to do this or do that. Something tells me if they wouldn't have listened to the ESG, that they would have been better off than losing 24%. 20%. Think about that. And growing. That deficit is growing. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. However, as other people have talked about, Yuengling, and I tried Yuengling, another product in the midst of all of this, and I liked it. As a matter of fact, I was very surprised at how good it was. I had a couple different products from Yuengling. Guess what they've done now? Yuengling recently sponsored a Pride show.
Yes, unreal.
But we also broke that down why companies are doing it, because they need the money. It gets forced on them. Their scores matter, the credit that they need to get, the money that they need for their businesses. That's a whole hour show. We don't have time to break it all down for an hour. I don't think people freaking care.
Right.
The fact of the matter is ESG does matter for businesses, but does it matter more than losing 24% of your business by following what they're doing? And Democrat Drew says, you guys call liberal snowflakes. That's all you guys do. Complain about a private company. No, here's the thing. Not complaining at all. What I'm saying is they have every right to do what they want to do, but consumers have every right to not buy their product.
Correct. They'll suffer the consequences.
And we're bringing facts to the show, not feelings. Drew, as a Democrat, you operate in feelings in your life. You don't operate on facts. And that's unfortunate. Maybe someday you'll change. You'll see that the light is much brighter. Life is much better when you operate in fact, not feeling. The problem that they have is they've lost 24%. What they did was wrong. It screwed them up as a private company. That's fine. They can go on and do whatever the hell they want. I'm all about capitalism, which is a conservative principle. Did you hear that, Drew? With that being said,
yes.
We're just bringing the facts to the table that now distributors, and what I will complain about are your everyday mom and pop, your average Joe, like we are on this show, that suffers because of the company at the top making stupid ass decisions that affect everybody at the lowest realm of the business. That's the only thing that I get pissed about. And now they're trying to offer financial assistance of sorts to these distributors who are struggling because of stupid ass decisions that are made at the top. It's pretty simple. Very, very simple. I don't want to get into all that again. It is what it is. Bud Light struggling, and it continues. And I think they'll continue to struggle. And then it's unfortunate that Yuengling goes out and does the same damn thing that Bud Light did. So
correct.
I had that conversation this weekend as well. We're like, well, no Yuengling if you're into that. And if you're about, and here's the thing. The great part about the whole situation is you don't have to go buy the products that you don't want to buy. Don't buy it. Get something else. Stacy, I agree with you. She says, I like Yuengling Flight. That's what I had and liked it a couple of weeks ago. So anyway, do what you want to do. We just try to bring the facts that we can to the table as best as we possibly can. So Anheuser-Busch has not learned, and we'll see what happens with their new ad campaign, what it's going to consist of, and if they're, quote, allowed. But Todd says, guys, just drink tequila. Tequila. Okay. Greg says Milwaukee's best beer. Greg, I think I'll just go to the liquor.
I'm just going to have me a pina colada.
There you go. Interesting. And Aaron says, Drew, you may be an intelligent person. He doesn't know, but you certainly show that you lack any real common sense. And of course, Troy says what we heard earlier. Again, can't fix stupid. This is cancel this show.
We've seen that a lot on the comment line today.
Yeah, we have. We've seen it all happen. Anyway, those are some of the things that are going on. Another big story happening. How does this make you feel? Here we go. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. LA County and New York County, they're considering now charging drivers to use freeways. Once again, charging drivers to use freeways because they quote two reasons. One, they say they want to lessen congestion. And two, they want to help with the environment. Okay, so the idea is called congestion pricing.
That is ridiculous.
It uses priced tolls to control speed and the flow of cars in an effort to help with less traffic and cleaner air. Now, a company that they used in Los Angeles to bring this together, they've identified 3 locations in the Los Angeles area to implement. One's a 16-mile stretch. It's Highway 10. It's the 10 freeway between downtown LA and Santa Monica. I've driven it several times. Another's in the San Fernando Valley in the LA basin. Their idea behind it, they say, is that traffic congestion caused because roads are valuable, scarce goods. Once again, the basic idea behind it is the traffic congestion is caused because roads are a valuable, scarce goods.
Does their common sense not tell them that the side roads are now going to get congested?
Right now, they cost nothing to access. And like almost anything that's in high demand, if it's underpriced, you run out of it. And that's what congestion is. No, what that is that is a liberal policy.
For sure. 100%. for 100%. They don't care. They don't care that it's going to congest other roads. They're just lining their pocket, or they just don't get it. Like the liberal policies, a lot of people just don't get it. They just think, oh, yeah, it's green. Oh, yeah, it's green. And I'm a virtuous person because I'm going green. Oh, I'm just so much better than you because I'm going green.
But it's already super expensive to live in Los Angeles and New York. Sure. There's also a super exodus from both of those areas as well. With that being said, they also say that right now, it costs nothing to access. So we were talking about that. Other cities across the world, they say, have implemented a similar program on their roadways. London, Stockholm,
Of course, yes.
Singapore, Milan. Now, they say the details have not been finalized, including the price, technology, or how they're actually going to implement it. That was my big, okay, how are you going to implement this? They haven't shown it yet, but it's serious enough that they're putting a lot of money into the study to try to make this happen. Is it another situation about control? You're going to try to take our driving away. You have to get around Los Angeles, and you have to have the freeways. So you're going to have to travel. The pricing has not been spoken about yet. But you have government officials actually trying to implement this right now. We've already talked long and hard on this show about electric vehicles, the good, the bad, the ugly, what is real, what isn't, what happens to those batteries. Do you know what it takes to actually put an electric vehicle together compared to using a gas? We've broken it all down, all in the name of climate change, global warming and such. And now you have another situation being brought to the table. If anything like this was implemented, something tells me, I guarantee, if at all, people would be leaving at a higher rate out of New York and LA counties.
Correct.
There's no way. You wouldn't stay, would you?
No. Oh, heck no.
I just can't see any good coming out of this whatsoever.
No, that's the U-Haul thing.
Jeff says that's why you pay your taxes. Yeah.
Correct.
Totally makes sense to me from that standpoint. Also, Aaron says this is on par with St. Louis City sidewalk decision recently, which is encouraging people to walk in the street since they won't fix the sidewalks.
They sure don't. The sidewalks there are awful. And when you walk, you trip. You just keep walking and you trip over the sidewalks, and they're crooked and they're raising up, and yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah, but once again, it's La La Land in California.
It is.
As Lisa says. And some people want Newsom to be president. Yeah, well, of course.
Get out.
But once again, if you have certain stripes, you're not going to change your stripes.
Correct.
You're just not. It's a pride issue that most humans will not go through and change. They will not change feelings and thoughts of where they used to be and where they could go. Interesting. Jerry says, quote, KMOX Graveyard, RRP Jim White, DJ, had bumper stickers that said, yeah, you can't fix stupid. Yes, I think I did know that.
I remember that. Yep.
But does this move the needle for people that this is happening? I just wanted to bring as best as I possibly could to the table what politicians will do when you continue to elect people that don't believe in the best for you as a citizen, the best for you as a resident from their area. Of course, the Democrat on our show says he'll be president one day. Maybe, but you're not saying he's a good one. You speak as if you know how the voting system is going to go.
Because I think he understands there's cheating, and that's the only way he will get. He knows there's cheating.
Benny says, keep your eye on the big picture. As always, you want to think about everything that could possibly be going on with every situation in America right now.
Correct.
So we'll continue to follow that. We'll see where it goes. Another massive situation that we're dealing with right now here on canceltheshow.com this morning on Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. It's a federal holiday. Is the fact of something that's going on with China. There's not anybody that covers Joe Biden or follows the Joe Biden story that doesn't know that he hasn't in some way been compromised by China, by Ukraine. You're hearing now is upwards of $30 million. The big guy collecting on that. China has run roughshod over us for a few years now, and we're not here to break down every aspect of China. But a massive, massive deal that we're dealing with right now is what could happen with BRICS, and then what can happen with Taiwan. It's a big, big story. I'll bring up again what I brought up on Friday regarding China and Taiwan. Well, we also had Secretary of State Antony Blinken meeting with the Chinese President Xi. They met, they came out, they spoke. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Blinken. I'm just not. But once again, he's a mouthpiece. I mean, he does what he is told to do. He says what he is told to say. It is interesting that China was willing to finally meet with the United States and Blinken from that standpoint. Now, I believe we also have a soundbite with Blinken ready to go or queued up because this just happened. This was some breaking news not too long ago as Blinken was talking about what they spoke about, this courtesy of C-SPAN.
On Taiwan, I reiterated the long-standing U.S. One China policy. That policy has not changed. It's guided by the Taiwan Relations Act, the 3 joint communiques, the 6 assurances. We do not support Taiwan independence. We remain opposed to any unilateral changes to the status quo by either side. We continue to expect the peaceful resolution of cross-strait differences. We remain committed to meeting our responsibilities under the Taiwan Relations Act, including making sure that Taiwan has the ability to defend itself. On Taiwan, I reiterated the long...
Okay, you hear what's going on with that situation. Taiwan became part of the Republic of China in 1945. That was after Japan's defeat in World War II. However, Taiwan was not made a standard province of China at that time. So following the Chinese Civil War in 1949, the government retreated from the mainland as the Chinese Communist Party proclaimed the establishment of the People's Republic of China. But Taiwan was a Japanese colony from 1895 to 1945. So then people try to find out, was it really a part of China? Was it not? Taiwan officially, the Republic of China, is a fully independent nation on paper, but it's not recognized as such by the United States. To explain what Blinken was kind of talking about with that whole situation. I don't think it's a matter of if, it's a matter of when China goes there, when they decide to take this. Now, they can use it as a bargaining tool with the United States for other issues, other things that they may want to get done across the world, but don't think for a second that they don't want that and they're not going to take it. Something that made me get very concerned last week is I brought up one of the world's top chip maker is in Taiwan. And you had 2 massive money people pulling money out, including one politician. I'm trying to remember who the politician was in the United States, pulling their money out of this chip, which is doing great money. Why would they be pulling their money out of this chip factory in Taiwan right now? Speculation, yep. But they know something's coming.
Well, and
why would you, when you're making tons of money, you're all of a sudden going to pull it out now? And the United States has already said that if China were to come in or show that they were going to come into Taiwan in some capacity, whether they showed up, whether they did it diplomatically, whether they were dropping bombs, that the United States would not leave that technology behind for China. And now you have massive exodus of money from this chip conductor facility.
Even in that meeting, they had a meeting and Blinken was in there and they had Chinese officials sitting there and then American officials and then other countries. And here's what struck me as a big deal when other people might not think it's a big deal. However, all of the Americans sat there with masks on their faces. The Chinese officials did not.
Of course they didn't.
But you look in behind them, all the people behind them had. And from me being in China several times, this is a real problem. That shows weakness to China, that our officials are sitting there muzzled on their face. And so China knows, even just from that little bit of segment of talking, we're weak. Because if a good person came from America and was sitting there and really wanted to negotiate, and hey, they would not be wearing a mask. This is all about subservient behavior, and it's awful.
Well,
it's awful.
Obviously, we have a president that's weak, not only in his physical state, but in his mental state. And when you have dictators that are ruthless, hardcore people like Xi, like Putin, they recognize weakness. But on the other side, they recognize strength. They saw strength in Donald Trump. They didn't like him, like Democrats don't. But you don't have to like people. But I guarantee most people respect people that they don't like because they know.
Exactly.
Like crap. I can't get away with what I could get away with somebody else. I can't do what I would do with Donald Trump that I know I can do with Joe Biden. And these are serious issues. So with that being said, we already know that there has been some sort of control over the Biden family, the Biden crime syndicate that we have seen. And China is going to get what they want somehow, some way with all of the situations. The Democrat on our show says, yeah, why did all the major unions endorse him, Vic, if he's so weak? Because that's the Democratic way. It's about money. It's not
all about money.
And we'll call out the unions as we have on this show before. The teachers union is one of the most pathetic unions that this country has ever seen with what they have done to education, with public education, driving so many families away from trusting the old public school situation to being forced into new situations. We don't want to get into that. Just because there's power in numbers does not mean you're right.
That is very true. Very true.
And teachers are afraid to go on air and talk about how bad the unions are, but they're terrible, Drew. They're terrible.
They are terrible.
I've been told the only thing the union may help you do with as a teacher, not to get too off base, is if you get accused of something by a kid or a parent, that they can protect you from that standpoint. Maybe.
Correct. And like Todd said,
but that's it.
Not for us to kid ourselves that the union worker, not the higher up big shots, the union workers were voting Trump are going to vote Republican. They know what's up. I have a lot of union friends.
Well, if Joe Biden's the choice, I hope they vote with Donald Trump, because for all of his faults, he blows that little old frail desperate, lost man out of the water. That is not the leader, the figurehead, whatever you want to call we want in these high stakes situations that the year 2023 to the year 2028 will involve. You cannot have that person, that man eating his ice cream, falling off his bike, stumbling over alleged sandbags, not knowing which way to turn, hand shaking the air, making silly comments. God bless the queen. I mean, having to be escorted from here to there, not knowing which X to. Do I go on?
You can keep going on and on, and Vic,
I mean,
you can go on and on.
I mean, it's weak. China knows it. China continues to do what they're doing, and it's a problem. And it's going to continue to be a problem. So the whole Taiwan situation, Blinken, there was a meeting. We will see where it goes, what happens. But I do think it's a matter of time before. I'm not trying to, oh my God, woe is us. China's taking over Taiwan today. But money shows us a big story. And the fact that people are starting to take the money out of that chip factory, I was like, whoa, we're going to wait and see what happens there. This is cancelthisshow.com. It is interesting because the Chinese Taiwan story takes us back to Joe Biden. And with that being said, earlier as we started the show, we talked about how sad it is and how frail of a man he is and how bad the DNC is. I mean, if you're a Democrat, you really want to continue to be a Democrat when the own party, the DNC, tells you, we're not going to let you see a debate between Joe Biden and anybody else that wants the job in the United States of America.
Right. That's so crazy.
Dems, come on.
Yes. I mean, it's like, because you little peons, we know it's good for you.
Let's be real. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Is that not communist?
100%.
We're not going to let him debate anybody. And then, of course, the Dawson's Creek actor came out, ripped it. So many other people came out and ripped it. Democrats are ripping it. Jack Dorsey, that are Twitter out of the St. Louis area, founder of Twitter, ripped it. They can't, I mean, people who are intellectually honest, and I give them credit, Democrats who are going to be intellectually honest will tell you this is a problem. And then you have people who are not intellectually honest, like the Drews of the world, who won't be honest and tell you that it's a problem. It's a problem. And it shows you what the Democratic Party has fallen to, because the party was not this way so long ago. The party that my family was a part of. And it changed. It changed fast, and it's continuing to change. It is interesting. Intern Chase just sent me some polling. Roughly 78. This polling is and was done by, I'm trying to check it out right here. Chase, do you know who the polling was done by before? I'm trying to look down through right now. Oh, Real Clear Politics. They do a pretty damn good job. They really do. Thanks for this, Chase. Appreciate it. RCP found that roughly 78% of likely general election voters hope that Biden and Kennedy will debate. And when it breaks down, this is what's sad. If you're a Democrat, think about this. It's still a high number, but not as high as it should be. 57.5% of Democrats said there should be a debate between RFK and Joe Biden, Robert F. Kennedy. 93% of Republicans said yes, there should be. Wow.
Wow.
And 80% of independents say, according to Real Clear Politics, there should be a date or a debate between RFK and Joe Biden. But the Democrats know. They're afraid because he is compromised in so many situations. He does not do well in public settings. He gets angry. He gets agitated. He doesn't know how to handle stress. He doesn't know how to handle these big topics. And Democrats know because they hate Trump so much. Instead of this country being in a better situation, they would rather us sit in our own crap and smell it than have Trump leading us to a better place because the pride is so bad.
Yep.
People like Democrat Drew, they would rather see this country sit and be in a terrible situation and smell it and live with it than have us be in a better situation because of pride. But I'm just grateful that Real Clear Politics did the polling because this was done, by the way, between May 17th and June 15th. And they also indicate that Biden and Kennedy have 62% and 15.6% support. Marianne Williamson has 6.1%. But they won't debate. They won't let him on stage with anybody because they know it would be horrible. Pam, well said. Pride goes before the fall.
Yes.
Let it fall hard. Unfortunately, when the country falls, we all fall. And
Correct.
even if we didn't agree with the terrible policies and leadership that we're currently getting from the president, we all suffer. And that's unfortunate. And of course, people who don't agree with that opinion, they'll cuss us, they'll rip us, they'll try to destroy us. And when I say us, that's everybody with that opinion. And all we're trying to do is talk fact. It's not about ripping a person just to rip them. It's about talking about facts. It's about showing videos. It's about showing the sound bites, the things that are actually happening in this country. Is this country in a better spot than what it was 3 years ago from any financial aspect? No. From a world standpoint? No. We're compromised in every single way, and it continues to get worse. Instead, we're told to focus on all of the sexual issues. We're told to focus on all of the other issues that continue to happen. And our country continues to go down, down, down. Troy reminds us that Dubai, of all places, is now thriving while the United States continues to decline. Margie says, foolish pride. These things continue to happen.
Well, and I would love to know what a Democrat thinks that Joe Biden, he was a senator for what, like 36, 37 years, something like that. And he was a vice president for 8 years. And he has all this quote experience, and he comes and he's ruining the country. And he has the audacity to blame this on President Trump. I mean, I would love to actually have them defend that point.
Yeah, and that's and the reason we got back on that subject was the fact of what was going on with the situation. Antony Blinken meeting with President Xi from China this morning. Basically, lines being drawn in the sand is what you're continuing to hear, what you're continuing to see right now when it comes to everything that's going on. Also interesting to bring up too, for everything that's brought up about Donald Trump and from the Republican standpoint. You also have the media, which has their part in everything that happens. Ron DeSantis' wife, Casey DeSantis, we don't know a ton about her except that she's had to overcome some serious health battles. But now she's having to defend her own marriage of insular marriage. How dare she be normal? Literally now she has had to come out and defend her marriage as left-wing media outlets are going after her marriage to Governor DeSantis.
Give me a break with that. And that's what will happen.
One outlet called it one of the most guarded and feared partnerships in all of politics. It's sad that she was the story from the Washington Post, and it was all about her relationship with Governor. Now, Now, they'll continue to go after anybody who's Republican.
Correct.
And this is what big media does.
Yes.
If you differ, if you dare challenge any of their narrative, they're going to come after you with everything that they have. It is interesting. They say the level of prominence and power they've achieved in Tallahassee seemed to insulate their world further, creating a level of distance between Ron and Casey and everyone else. That's what the Post wrote. Tracing the power of Casey DeSantis. Whether you're a DeSantis fan or not, or whether you just like Trump more than DeSantis or not, this is sad when you start to go after the marriage and the wife of what appears to be a good marriage. The Post also argued that while the couple, quote, could have the look of a traditional husband and wife, they were actually incredibly closed off.
Well, I'm good for them being closed off. And the left cannot stand a good mom and a dad in the old-fashioned, cohesive 1940s, 50s, the same mom, the same dad, the same kids. They just go after them and tear them apart.
You mean a female that doesn't want to be Hillary Clinton?
Yes.
That doesn't want to be Michelle/Michael Obama?
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So if you're corrupt and you're a guy dressed as a girl and you're a Democrat, woohoo, yay for you. But if you're a mom and a dad and a female that is a biological female, they're going to go after you like nobody's business.
So you're going to get attacked on every side, and that's what is happening right now. But it is interesting. Some journalists and commentators online are comparing the DeSantis family treatment by the media to another political powerhouse couple, the Clintons. Quote, "It is very inspiring and empowering for a woman to be in an expansive and atypical role as long as she's a Democrat and not in one of those weird insular marriages with only two people in it."
Right. And it's a male and a female.
Mary Catherine Ham joked about that in a podcast. She does a really good podcast as well. So anyway, they'll go after the traditional family, the traditional marriage, the media, well, as they have started to do as well. So anyway, lots of topics, lots of things that we have done today. Once again, Lindsay, can you promote tomorrow, 9:30 Central Time on our show?
Yes, 9:30 Central Time tomorrow is going to be a great guest we've had before, a very good friend of mine, Chanel Rion, and she will be talking about and breaking down things from 2019 to now, what is on Hunter's laptop, all the proof, and what is really, really, really going on in Ukraine.
Yeah, that's. I think we have something else. I just can't remember it right now. It is the 20th, Tuesday. We'll get into that. We'll also be talking. By the way, we appreciate you guys. One of our listeners went into Metro Shooting Supply over the weekend and told them that they heard us talk about them, how much they love the show. We're going to be talking. His name is Stephen King. When you talk guns, nobody knows better than Steve King. He has done a lot of shows over the years throughout the St. Louis area. He's done radio, TV. Nobody knows more about what's happening when it comes to guns and law, what's right, what's wrong, what should be safe, why the FBI should be doing more. You will not want to miss him. We'll be speaking with him on Thursday at a new partnership that we have with him regarding our commitment to A2 rights as well. So for intern Chase and Pro Joe, making us look as good to sound as we possibly can. Lizzie Sparks here. I'm Vic Faust. Guys, have an awesome day. Remember to like, subscribe, share the show. We appreciate it. If you know of any partnerships that we should be involved with, any business, either local throughout the St. Louis area or national, please let us know. Have an awesome day. We'll see you tomorrow for canceltheshow.com.